Hi, everybody. It's Fiona May for Women on Transition, and I've got my beautiful client, Deb, here today. Deb's just done a 3-month program with us, and I just want to introduce her and let her tell you her story in her words. So, welcome, Deb.
Thank you. Thank you, Fiona.
Excellent. So, maybe start by telling the ladies where you were 3 months ago when you started the Shine program.
I was very lost. I had been in a marriage for 30 odd years. We had been separated and lived separately for probably 8 or 9. So I had been on my own. But of course, children had grown up. Feeling very lost, stuck. I was feeling a lot of guilt. My husband wasn't an abusive husband, a lovely man, actually. But since having done the course, we'll go into that later, I have now learned he was probably more the feminine. He just wanted to calm me down, which at the beginning I thought, oh, that's lovely. I can decide what I want to do. We'll do this, we'll do that. And he just went along with that, which I now realize probably we just drifted apart. We drifted apart to the point that we really weren't enjoying each other's company at all. We started fighting a bit. My daughter was 19, my son was 12, and we possibly made the mistake then of staying in the same house but living separately because I didn't want my son to go through saying my parents have broken up and this is why I can't do stuff at school, blah, blah, blah. Realizing it was the wrong thing to do. So we stayed together separately in the house until my son finished year 12 and we moved out separately. He very quickly managed to pick up another partner, which I was not in that mindset because I was still thinking, oh, maybe we can work through this. Maybe we can get counseling. But he just said, oh, I don't think it's worth it. And he shut down. He wouldn't talk about it. So in the end, why I felt the guilt was because I called it in the end. And I said, we have to separate. And he didn't want to. He would have still been going on now, well, not talking, being separate. It was too hard for him. So I was the one who called it. We separated. And I didn't realize until I did the course how much guilt I was carrying. And I did say to Sandra, I didn't know whether the course was going to be right for me because I didn't have an awful marriage. I didn't have an awful husband, but I had so much guilt because I just felt I was the one who ruined the marriage and the family. And regardless of what my kids told me after they'd grown up, they said, Mum, Dad, but I still could not get over that guilt.
Yeah.
Having done the program, I have put the guilt aside. One of the modules was, you think how wonderful it was. I got 2 fabulous kids. I learned a lot. I've now in my own purse. I feel great. And I managed to do what you say, put it in my little box next door. I have since seen him and he's, don't know how many partner, but she's quite nice. Fun. She's lovely actually. And I've since seen them and I've been in a different mindset. And he would, at birthdays, etc., he would just say hello and look down. And where I made a point of going to sit near him and chat to him and say, so what are you doing for Christmas? And blah, blah, blah. And it was like I could just talk to a friend. At one point, I was going to be minding my grandson, and his partner said, well, I'll come with you if you want to have some company. And I said, oh, okay. And he said, oh, I'm not coming. But then by the end of the afternoon, he said, oh, I might come. So the whole thing had changed because I had put him in a different league and I showed him that we could still get on and be friends.
And be a family.
Yeah. And whilst it won't be friends that we ring each other or do any of that, we can go out and the kids have just thought it was fabulous because they were always thinking, oh, I better not have dad because mom and not that there were even any other people involved or anything when we split up, but it was just uncomfortable. And as I said, I dealt with my guilt that I now wasn't guilt. I know that it needed to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
With all of that, I have just changed my whole mindset. I feel I'm not stuck. I don't know what I'm going to be doing because I'm now 68, so I have retired, although I wouldn't want a little job somewhere or doing something. But I feel like quite excited because I feel that there's something out there. I've addressed a lot of demons. My son lives in Canada And we've always had a bit of an odd relationship. And I know he went and had some therapy about the breakup, but I never would talk. And men are different, boys are different. But it was only last week I finally got him because he's been away, etc. And we had a really good chat. And I said to him, I want to apologize firstly because I didn't realize until I did this what you went through. He was 12. And I know he was upset, but I was trying to keep the family happy. My ex-husband, he's just a grumpy old man, but he wasn't then, he was grumpy still. But I was trying to keep it all going. I was working. And I said to him, I realize now that you did it hard. And I said, I really am sorry that happened. I can't change it, but I think we can have a better relationship. And he went, oh, I really appreciate you saying that, Mum. He said, because I would never think it.
Mm.
But he said, and not that I judged you for any of it, but it was hard. So that made me, I just felt like a weight had lifted off my shoulder talking to him. My daughter's always been great because she just keeps saying, well, no, Mum, I don't know how you stayed there that long. Yeah. But she's different. Girls are different than boys.
Absolutely. And we always say when a mama heals, she heals her whole family. We don't realize what challenges are going on for the kids until
No.
actually being able to do our own work. Because when we're hurting, we shut down as well. We don't realize it, but we shut down emotionally so we can just get through and do what we need to do and to try and keep the family together, to try to keep working.
It's real.
Really push
Actually,
people away.
it's automatic pilot. Like it's just, come on, you've got to go to school. And you're dealing with your own grief as such, anxiousness and problems and trying to keep everybody happy. And I knew he was upset, but it wasn't paramount to me. And it should have been, but it wasn't. Now I realize that. And it's years later, but I think it'll be a different relationship from now on when he drinks soon.
Confident it will be. Yes.
Yeah.
You know, excellent.
Yeah.
What did you discover about yourself, rebuilding and reinventing yourself, and like your energy shifted, the way you're showing up is totally different. So I'm super excited about that. Your healing and growth work to set yourself up for the next stage of your life, what is going to be amazing compared to what it probably would have been if you hadn't have done your work.
Actually, my daughter only said to me on the weekend, she said, Mum, you are so much happier now than you were a few months ago. She said, I'm quite worried about you. And she's done quite a bit of work herself because she's had to with a job. She's into energy and mind shifts and things like that. And she said, you can tell that it's made such a big difference. And I said, yeah, I do. And I can distance myself. I think I've said to you before with family, I'd sit there and think about things instead of reacting. Not my kids as such, but siblings and But I would once have said, "Oh, don't be so stupid," blah blah blah. But now I just say, I'd be hey, and I go let it go. And I think your issue now, it's not mine. If you can't learn by it, that's your issue. People come to me to chat with things, and I'm always happy to listen. And I can see, I've always been very lucky that I've been intuitive and I can see it outside the box. I'll try and say, well, maybe they've done that for this reason, and you've got to think of it from their point of view or whatever. But if they don't want to talk about it or they're so set in their ways and no, that's rubbish, I think, yeah, I would, when once I go, no, listen, not anymore. I just think that's your path to follow. I have my ideals and beliefs. So in that respect, I've changed a lot, tolerance-wise, everything, really. I just let it go, basically. Yeah.
And did you enjoy the structure of the program? What I think a lot of people don't expect and what they don't understand is that we need to grow, we need to learn new tools
Oh,
and
yes.
skills. And if we don't do that, I don't personally think that we can heal and grow sufficiently by just positive manifestation or talking about our problems or any of that traditional therapy that most people experience. Most people who come to us have already done years of trying to fix
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah.
what we're very big on is dealing with the core underlying beliefs, values, and rules. And so
Right.
this is what sets you up, having a curriculum that every week you have to work through modules of work and growing your mind. And that's what stretches you and takes you with a new level of knowledge, isn't it?
Yeah, oh, definitely. And I think the structure was fabulous. It was a lot of work, not more than I anticipated, but you had said that on the weekend. It is a lot of work, but enjoyable work. I actually, even when I finished it today, I thought, I'm going to leave it a couple of weeks and I'm going to start it again because I'm actually looking forward to starting it again.
You'll notice how much you've grown. That's why we give you the 12 months, because we really
Yes.
want you to do it a couple more times and you
Yes.
will just recognize how much you have grown, how much you've healed, and how much you've learned, and how those tools will positively influence the rest of your life.
Yes. Oh, yes. Some of the things that you refer back to, I think, can't actually remember it. So I'm looking forward to doing that again. And I must say, in a lot of it, you do make me laugh sometimes. So one of today, you said something about a douchebag. I just laughed. I thought, yeah, I relate to that.
I'm pretty raw and real.
But I make me laugh when you are. I just think it brings it down to, it's not just like quoting in a textbook. It's like, this is life and this is real and this is how people are and how they talk. So, no, I thought that was really good. But no, I'm looking forward to doing it again and absorbing a lot more. Particularly, I really enjoyed the Byron. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Took me a while to get it, but after a while, I was chatting to friends or whatever, and they'd be telling me things, and I'd go, "Is that really real?" And funny how I was analyzing it and then thinking how it could be changed, the story, and but that in itself took a little bit to all get. So you couldn't do it any quicker, or and if you hadn't had that same module one, you'd think, "Oh, I have no idea what she's doing." You know,
Everything's in strategic order. Exactly.
every now and again I'd chat to Aggie, and now she's a different girl. She's fabulous.
The way we do the program and the way I structure it is exactly what I know the ladies need. They need friendship. They need to build a new circle of girlfriends around them who can support them going through this journey. Most of their old friends, they're not going through divorce. They don't know
No,
what it feels like. And so having women around you who actually know what you're experiencing, but also who encourage you to keep moving and growing and learning and healing is what is really is the wind beneath your wings, and those positive women around you to show you the way. And
yes,
why we set it up the way we do. So you've got not only your curriculum and your work, but you've got your girlfriends and your sisters in there that will hold you accountable. And we want to build those friendships. So you've got that support system long after you finish the course, because
yeah,
that will be ongoing support.
yeah. That's been really good in itself.
What's your future look like now as opposed to what you were thinking that it was going to look like, say, 4 or 5, 6 months ago? How's that
Yeah.
actually changed? Because that's
Oh,
my
very much so.
the stories.
Very much so changed. Because my son is in Canada, my daughter's here in Melbourne. I was very much reliant on seeing her and the grandchildren. And I was thinking, oh, I wish I was doing what they're doing. And I was shrinking away from the world. I think, oh, I don't want to go out. I can't be bothered going out. I don't want to do this. When now, as I said, I still feel like there's a bit of excitement there. I really truly believe there's opportunity. I don't know what, but even for travel or something, I do a 5 minutes, only a 5 minute meditation every morning, but it covers everything in that 5 minutes. And I love it. I feel so much better once I've done it. Do my priming as I'm getting in the shower, all the things, the gratitude, etc. But I just feel good. I just think I've got a bit of a higher step when I'm walking. Where before I think, oh, better walk the dog. Where now I think it was 7 o'clock this morning. It's hot here today. I thought, come on, water down, get out and walk the dog. Where once I would have just thought, no, the dog can't go. I would more, I know I was virtually, not in depression, but
Often feel like you don't have a lot to live for, do you? You know,
it's
when
hard.
when your world's taken away and when your whole identity of who you thought you were and what you were going to have for the rest of your life and your retirement and all of those dreams and hopes go out the window. So
Yeah.
important that we rebuild, and you've got a happiness about you. And you know what? Like attracts like. And you're going to find that you are going to attract happy, positive, powerful people into your life, and
Mhm.
you're just going to go on that new journey that wouldn't have been possible if you're a sad sack and if you're low confidence, because we attract who we are being, not what we want, but who we are being. So unless
Mhm.
we change first who we're being, we're not going to be able to create the lives we want. I
Wow.
know that you're going to have a beautiful future, and keep that excitement going and put in
Yeah.
place your goals and have your vision and all those things that we've taught you to do, and it will all come true, I know.
Yeah, I hope so. It's been a really great time. I've enjoyed it. Great investment, in my opinion. So yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. And that's why I do this job.
You do a wonderful job, and so does Sandra. She's just lovely. No, I think you're both wonderful.
Onwards and upwards, girlfriend. Go and create that beautiful new life.
I will, and I'll see you. Unfortunately, I'm coming in on the 13th. I've got to go away for the Saturday, or maybe there for Sunday, but I'm coming on the Friday anyway. So
Excellent.
just to come and see people and boost them up a bit and tell them it works. Thanks so much.
No problems. That's great. See you.
Thanks, Fiona. Bye bye.